Welcome to Sisters in Arms. This is Kerrie Ann Auclair, and I'm here with Charlie Cook, and thank you for joining us. This is where we educate, empower minds through real stories. Let's get started. Charlie, I can't believe you came back to my show again.
I can't believe you let me back.
So I thank you. Charlie Cook is an amazing friend of mine. He has an incredible show called Riding Shotgun with Charlie. He's a music teacher. You do that trumpet gun thing. What is it called? Gungrams.
Yes, I do.
Yep. And where's my birthday one? I need, hello, you did everyone. It's not me. And you do a lot of other amazing things. And I want to talk about that because I just recently went to the Gun Rights Policy Conference. Again,
I did too.
I know you were there. My God, I didn't know you were there. And you were actually had a big role in it this year with AmCon. So I'm really excited about that. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but I want to kind of talk about what you do with riding shotgun and all the amazing people that you meet. Kind of give us a little glimpse on what you do.
All right, so I have an interview show called Riding Shotgun with Charlie, and I drive people around in my car, sometimes other people's car, but whatever car it is, I call it the Stagecoach. So This is the nickname I've given my car. But I drive people around and we talk about whatever it is that they do in the gun community. So I've had a lot of big name folks like Masad Ayub and Rob Pincus. I've had Doug Hamlin on the show. I've had Phil Schreier, who was at the NRA Museum. I recently put out a show with a guitar player from 3 Doors Down. His name is Chris Henderson, and he makes rifles in Hendersonville, Tennessee.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I get people to talk about what it is that they do, and having a format where you're in a car, the people you talk with are a little more captive. They can't go anywhere. They're kind of stuck with you. Your life is in their hands.
Yeah.
And yeah, we talk about what they do, and I think people, when they have a conversation in the car, they kind of drop anything that they might have, and you know, they get a little more relaxed.
Yeah, because it's in a comfortable environment.
Yeah.
I have to go back to Quincy a couple years ago. So we did this goal.
Oh yeah.
Gun owners actually did a big, huge event in Quincy. And after the event, the next day, we all got up early in the morning. We all jumped in my vehicle, and we went through Boston. That was so much fun. Tell us a little bit about that day, because we had some really awesome people in the car.
We had a lot of great people in the car. So we had you. We had a couple of your local gals.
Yep.
We had Mo Palmer. We had Bonnie
Marshall.
Bonnie Marshall. Who else do we have? We had Holly Sullivan from Connecticut Citizens Defense League. We had Amanda Suffolk, who is on the NRA Board of Directors. She's got a radio show called Eye on the Target Radio. And we had you and Mike Harris.
Yep.
And was that it?
I think that was it. And I had a boot on to boot.
You had your boot, right. And so it was really cool because we went from Quincy. What we did is, since I have all these people in the car to interview, and we only have one shotgun seat, so we would drive someplace, like we drove from Quincy to Boston, and then once we got in Boston, we stopped at like Cheers, and then we went out and got a selfie, and then swapped everybody out, put a new person in the shotgun seat, talked with them, drove to the next place, got out, got a selfie at like the site of the right near Faneuil Hall, by the by the meeting house there, and then we'd go somewhere else and get another picture with everybody and drive
handing
somewhere
out
else and
stickers,
get another
Stop HD 4420 to a bunch of hard hats. That was fun.
That was a lot of fun. So I love my gig. I think it's so much fun. It gives me a chance to hang out with people and make them. I don't want to say make them more personable, but to get to see them in a different light.
I think it's awesome what you do, and there's so many people that have the opportunity to be on shows or do shows and actually network with each other and showcase what's going on in each state. And that's like a national thing that you're doing, and I think that's pretty cool because there's some amazing heavy hitters that are in that car, and people might not know them personally because I think sometimes we stay in our own state, in our own bubble, but you give them a chance to be able to know, like Doug Hamlin. Yeah. Oh, wow, oh great. He's changing things around with the NRA. I think he's doing a fabulous job, by the way. So I think that's pretty cool that you're doing that.
What I think is really cool. So when I go to AmCon and GRPC, or when I go to the NRA annual meetings or SHOT Show or something, to me it's fun because I said this year at GRPC that the whole weekend tickles my ADD because I get to talk to this person for a few seconds, and I talk to someone else, and this was really cool. I was supposed to go to the Browning Museum in Ogden. Right?
Oh.
There's a John Moses Browning Museum in Ogden, and I had some friends from the San Diego County gun owners that were going there. And by the time we got in, Rob Campbell and Amanda Suffolk and I all ended up on the same flight from Chicago to Salt Lake.
That's ironic.
Yeah, that was cool. But we ended up getting there in the afternoon, and we couldn't. I don't want to say we couldn't afford the Uber ride, but we didn't want to afford the Uber ride because it was like $70.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It was like $70 to get us a half hour away. And so Amanda and I just hung out in the lobby of the hotel. And it was really cool because everybody would come in and stop and say hi. Either she knew them or I knew them. And we just
that's right, because you guys were all sitting there when we came in.
We're like the welcoming committee, right? It was completely, it was great. It was great.
Yeah. So before we go into AmCon and the Gun Rights Policy Conference, there is some major news that just dropped regarding Massachusetts. So as most of you know, HD 4420, which was like, I don't know, 2 years ago, changed changed numbers 6 times. We fought it like really hard, and then it dropped August 1st, 2024, and now it's a bill, it's a law. So there's a huge hearing coming up regarding a bunch of different bills. Some of it's Chapter 135 related, and others are bills that Goal did. So I don't even know, I lost count. It looked like there was at least 20, if not more, bills that are going on. Hearings happening on Halloween, 31st, and I think it was...
It's probably going to be a trick, is what I'm leaning toward.
Trick or treat. Exactly. I think it's at 11:30, but I could be wrong. But we'll put a link down below so you can check it out. Also, stay tuned. Go on to Gun Owners Action League's website or go to mass.gov and pull up the hearing for the 31st of Halloween. 31st.
Very cool. And you said they're accepting testimony until October 22nd?
Yep, October 27th, so,
27th or 2nd?
27th, I think it was.
So they got a few days from when this comes out to get some,
yeah,
to write some testimony.
Ironically enough, and you know as well as I know, that when a hearing happens, they usually have like 1 day.
Right, oh, by the way, tomorrow
By the
we're
way,
doing this,
so,
right.
Of course, you do your best to try to prepare for it, and you go in there and you're like, but you try to get the message out.
Yeah.
So we have time to prepare for this, people, and you can do written testimonials, you can do Zoom, you can be there in person, so all hands on deck. All hands on deck. And if looking at the bills and trying to figure out, oh my God, which one do I even look at? I know Goal's working on some summaries and trying to come up with a game plan because, of course, they do this on Halloween. I think the last time they did it was the week of Thanksgiving. So.
Wow. Yeah, they plan this out well.
Yeah, they plan this out well. There are also rumors that there is possibly, in fact, I know there is a rally of some sort. I think it starts at 10. I'm not sure. The Civil Rights Coalition is, I believe, putting it on, and there's going to probably be more details on that. You can probably also go to the Gun Owners website as well. We'll probably have some more information. But this is happening real quick, so there's a lot of details that aren't necessarily set in stone, so stay tuned, keep informed.
There we go.
So here we are again.
Cool. Let the good times roll.
Yep. Oh, and should we mention the ballot question too?
Yeah, for next year.
Yeah, so what is that, November 2026, right?
Right.
So the elections, there is going to be a question on the ballot. You need to vote no. We don't know the question number as yet. You need to vote no, not yes, so it's like the opposite of what we're saying.
Right.
So please pay attention.
They like to play with the wording of these things.
They do.
To
and the language,
right.
If I remember correctly, reading it, you'd be like, oh, I'm going to vote yes on yes. No, don't do that.
Exactly.
So stay tuned for that. We're going to have a lot more information coming out, but
cool.
Here's Massachusetts for you.
Welcome to the Commonwealth.
Mm-hmm. The Commonwealth. So, are you going to come and testify, you think, or what's your plan? I know I just dropped this on you.
Right. I don't think I have to work on Friday, so I think I could make it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Do we wear costumes?
That's a good idea.
Right.
Be respectful, people.
I'm doing Johnny Cash. I'm wearing all black. All black. I have usually when I go to work on Halloween, I wear all black, and then I have this black tie with a bunch of skulls on it.
There you go.
That's what I wear.
All right. So if you do dress up, be respectful. You know, we could really have fun with that, but we need to be respectful.
Of course, of course.
All right, so we have so much to talk about. Let's kind of dive into AmCon, and then probably the second part of the show, we'll talk about the Gun Rights Policy Conference. So
Yeah,
what
absolutely.
was your role?
So my
Tell us.
role was this. I've been on the planning board for AmCon a couple years after it started. I don't really know how I got involved. I know that there was a Facebook group for the planning board, and I was invited to be in this.
Oh, I heard
so
about
I accepted this, right? And then there were some other people that were running it for the last couple of years. Since it started, they left the organization. So it's just been like a free-for-all. And so finally this year, the people at Second Amendment Foundation said, we need someone to chair this. And I sat there on the Zoom with all the other people, and everyone did this. They did absolutely nothing. And I went and itched my nose, and they're like, all right, Charlie, you got the job.
That wasn't, I didn't raise my hand.
Right, exactly. So I became the chairperson, and so now I needed to start to implement things, and we tried to get a balance. So what AmCon is it's the Alternative Mass Media Conference, and it's the day before the Gun Rights Policy Conference. It started because Gail Pepin, who is Masada Ayoub's wife, she went to a podcast conference, and they asked her what she talked about on her show, and she said she talked about firearms, and they're like, yeah, we don't really like those, so we're not really going to talk to you. So she decided we're going to have one of our own. So this is how things kicked off. I was in charge of it, and I'm like, well, we want to try to get a mix of things, because we have people that are podcasters, people that are YouTubers, people that write articles, people that make videos, like just a whole gamut of stuff, whole gamut. So we're like, who do we have? Who have we had before? What have we talked about before? What can we talk about this time? And how can we get a mix of a little bit of everything for everybody to get something out of it, whether you're a video person, audio person, whether you're a writer. So it was really cool. Yeah.
I think it's awesome. This was my second year coming, and every time I go, I learned so much. The first year, I was just trying to figure out how it worked, and this year I really took a lot of notes, and I was able to take back a lot of information that could, help with Gun Owners Action League, or myself, or Sisters in Arms, or so there's so much awesome, amazing information, and so I know we got some pictures, and I didn't know about that. I didn't know about Gail, so I had no idea that story. That's a cool story.
That's how it all got kicked off.
So yeah, why don't we pull up a couple pictures? I think there's one of you actually.
Let's see.
Starting it off, let's see what we got. And this is the AmCon. All right, so that's me speaking.
That's you.
Yep,
Look at that.
we got it. All right, I was speaking.
You spoke too. I know. You became a Saturday speaker. Look at you.
I know.
That's awesome.
Yep. So I think this, Kim, is the gun rights policy one. Can you put the other group of pictures up? So the ones with there you go. All right, there you are.
There I am, look at that.
So you emceed it.
So I emceed it, yes. So
Yes.
I wasn't doing a presentation this year. I've done presentations for AmCon in the past, but since I'm like, you know what, I have plenty of work to do already, I am not gonna do a presentation, but it still feels like it was my baby, so I wanted to kick it off.
And you did a great job. I thought it was
thank
well
you.
organized,
Oh,
and
thanks.
there was a lot of amazing things. And I like the fact that they're recording all the speakers from AmCon and putting it on the web,
putting them on YouTube.
YouTube. I think that's great. So we got Amanda Suffolk, and she talked about pitch sheets.
She talked about pitch sheets and earned media,
Yes.
which was pretty cool.
Yes.
So the pitch sheets, she was telling us about these a few years ago. There was one gal that wrote a book. She was a DV survivor. She wrote a book, and she wanted to get more press for the book. So she had a one sheet drawn up, and there's information on both sides of the sheet, and it's all the information about her book and her story and how to get in touch with her. And there's even a section with questions. So if a radio host wanted to have her on, she could just hand them the sheet. They can read right through it. Here's the questions to ask me. She's got the answers all
I think it's
chambered and ready to
brilliant.
go. So that was one of the things. When I went to SHOT Show this year, I made up a pile of those to drag
That's
with
great.
me too.
I mean, I think it makes sense, because you hand out a rack card or a business card, it really doesn't give you a lot of information. So
No, it doesn't.
I'm looking forward to kind of coming up with stuff.
Yep.
So
Michelle Serino.
Yes.
Michelle Serino talked about, she's the editor of Women Outdoors, oh my gosh, Women Outdoors magazine?
You know what? I didn't write that down.
That's okay. I think it's Oh, Women Outdoors News, excuse
Yeah,
me.
that's what it is, yep.
She's part of Women Outdoors News, and she's the editor there. So she talked about what she wants to get when someone submits an article. Or if you
right.
write an article and send it to an editor, and the editor writes back and says, hey, you need to fix this, you need to tweak this. Don't send them a draft, don't send them spelling errors. Make sure you have all your information.
And your picture not blurry.
Make sure your picture's not blurry. And do things like make sure the links that you send are the links that you want to go to, not to some,
Other random
third world site where they, that's a questionable website. So make sure you have all the correct stuff for there.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then, yeah, Jared.
Jared Markle is the son of Paul Markle. Paul Markle has a group called the Student of the Gun. And he's got a big following, and they teach classes all around the country. Jared became I don't want to say like their marketing guy, but he's their marketing guy.
Yeah.
And he organizes all these things, and he did a presentation on how to turn strangers into raving fans.
I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love
So
it. He had a lot of information.
A lot of information.
And it was great because I had my tablet there, and as people were walking up, I went to the website, saved it into a pile so I could just go back, and there's so much information. It's almost hard to really retain everything. Mm-hmm. So, and this was a fun. I enjoyed. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so we had this. This is how this came about. One of the topics we decided to talk about was AI, artificial intelligence, and Mark and Lee, who you see here, Lee was very against it because he's a hardcore old school journalist. He's like, AI is not good. You don't want to use this. So we decided when we were having a planning board, I said, let's have an AI Royal Rumble. And they're like, what do you mean? And I'm like, it's just going to be a battle. We'll get 4 people to argue about AI, and one person comes out the victor. And they're like, we don't like that.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so let's do this. Let's do an AI debate. And I took a debate format. Everybody had 5 minutes to come up with their opening statement and state their case.
Yep.
Then everybody had 2 minutes to retort to to reply to the original 5 minutes.
Yep.
And then they had 2 minutes to retort to the 2-minute reply. So it was kind of an interesting thing, kind of an interesting concept, and it was new, and I think everyone really enjoyed that.
Yeah, and those two were also part of it, Cheryl and Amanda.
Cheryl and Amanda were the pro AI, and Mark and Lee were the anti-AI.
It was actually a really good debate.
Mark is very against it because
Yes.
ChatGPT wrote an article about how he embezzled money from the Second Amendment Foundation.
And it was
all fabricated.
lie.
It was such a lie, and he was the first human being to sue ChatGPT.
And because of that, there's now a disclaimer on the bottom of ChatGPT that says something about
right.
some information may not be correct. So check your information.
Shocking.
We do have some other speakers too, so let's talk about.
Oh, Michael Schwartz. I love Michael Schwartz, man. He's awesome. He's with the San Diego County gun owners, and they do amazing stuff in San Diego. And California is wildly anti-gun. San Diego County Gun Owners does incredible stuff. He's also got a radio show called the Gun Owners Radio. And he's great. He is incredibly awesome. He talked, his speech was called Speak Softly and Carry a Big Podcast.
Yeah.
And he had a California politician who was a former military, I think he was a former Marine, had him on the show and wanted to get his stance on being pro-gun. And he kept, the politician who was running for office said, well, I'm pro-gun. And Michael was like, how pro-gun are you? Are you for this? He's like, well, I think we should have assault weapon bans. I think we should have magazine
So you're not
restrictions.
pro-gun.
Right, I think we should have red flags.
Yep.
So Schwartz pulled him right out, called him right out on the radio show and said, yeah, no, this is not pro-Second Amendment. This is not pro-A. You might be a gun guy, but you're not pro-Second Amendment.
Exactly.
And Schwartzy took him to the cleaners, and he did not get elected.
That was
incredible.
That was incredible.
Michael's great. He was our keynote speaker.
Yep, it was awesome. I think, do we have any more for AmCon? So we didn't
That
get
was
all of
GRPC.
them.
We have the GRPC AmCon pictures.
Yep.
We did them both.
Yeah, we're doing both. But Tanner was on there, but I don't have a picture of him. And Tanner did an awesome job too.
Yeah, Tanner Lineberry is from the Second Amendment Foundation. He is the digital media director, I believe is his title, and he talked about rebranding
that was
Second
interesting.
Amendment Foundation, which Second Amendment Foundation has been doing some rebranding over the last couple of years, and Tanner's the person that's in charge of that.
Right, so what do you think, now we've talked about this before with AmCon, are you getting a lot of positive feedbacks regarding AmCon and the information that people can take back with them?
So yes, So one of the things we decided to do is we had our post-AmCon meeting, and since I was the chairperson, I was in charge of this. So I had to come up with a survey.
I saw that.
And I use Constant Contact for my biz emails. So I had to find out that you could do a survey on Constant Contact. Wrote a survey, I sent it to people to test it, to make sure everything worked, to get feedback, and of course I get answers like, why did you decide to come? And you know, I sent it to a couple good friends, and they're like, well, because of you asked me to, right?
Oh.
And one person said, right, I said, what was, Amanda said, I said, what was your favorite part? And she said, the women speakers. I said, what was your least favorite part? She said, the male speakers.
Oh.
So I'm like, okay, we got it loud and clear, everything works. System's going to be fine. So then we sent that to all the attendees to get some feedback. We got a lot of really positive feedback.
Oh, good.
So
it was tough because the survey was like, which speaker did you like the most? And I'm like, every single one of them had an important piece that I could take with me home. You know, so I don't think I think all the speakers were definitely amazing and very positive. And then Mark Smith was also
I was just going to say, we didn't get a picture of Mark Smith up there.
Yep.
But Mark Smith also did a presentation on how to talk about the Second Amendment when you're writing articles, like the phrases to use and the words to use and what they mean and stuff. So that was really cool too.
Yeah, it was great. You did a great job, and so the survey was positive, so that's a good thing.
Survey's positive, yes. So we still have a little bit of time until we collect all the data and put it all together.
Do it again next year.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Do you know where it's going to be next year?
I don't.
Oh,
I haven't heard.
it's always like a big surprise. It's like opening a present. Where is it?
It is kind of a big deal. Yeah.
I mean, it would be nice if it was in Massachusetts. Wait a minute, did I say that out loud?
I have mixed feelings about that, to tell you the truth.
Yes,
I really
that's
do.
what I'm saying.
I do.
Well, you know.
I do.
Yep. It was nice being in Utah, though.
Utah's beautiful.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Free state.
It's free America.
Free America.
You land at the airport in Salt Lake City, and it's just surrounded by mountains. It's beautiful.
I was like surreal, to be honest with you. I'm like, wow, this doesn't even look real. It's like a.
Were you in one of the groups that went out and did a tour of the place where Charlie Kirk was shot?
No, I couldn't because we had to leave. So Mike and I missed that whole thing. I was so upset because that would have been, that would have been amazing.
That would have been pretty cool.
You know, because let's talk about Charlie Kirk for a second, because I don't know about you, but that man was amazing.
I thought it was great. I loved hearing the arguments he had about. I agree with a lot of the stuff he says, but I don't
agree with everything.
Yeah, I don't agree with everything.
But that's okay.
That's okay, right?
But
I love the way he makes points about things.
Yeah, and the fact that someone decided to end that because they didn't agree with anything. It blows your mind, because we constantly are on stage. We constantly are doing things and putting ourselves out there, fighting for our civil rights. But in all reality, you have to have the First Amendment to do that.
Absolutely.
And to think that because people are doing what they believe in, now you're putting yourself.
You're a target.
Yeah, you're a target, and just makes no sense to me. But lesson learned,
For sure.
to guard that and help each other out.
Absolutely.
So we're going to be talking to the Gun Rights Policy Conference in a few minutes, but before we end the show, is there anything you want to add about AmCon and really bring, because I don't think a lot of people know about it. And I was looking at YouTube this morning, and I was looking at the Second Amendment Foundation's YouTube channel, and I realized that there's not a lot of clicks on the speakers. I mean, granted, they had the live feed, and then now they're taking all the speakers and separating them into videos and stuff like that, which is great. But what can we do to really try to spread the word regarding AmCon and the Gun Rights Policy Conference?
So what I have, you have it too. You have a biz page for your instructing business and for your social stuff and all the groups you belong to. So I try to share these things all over the place, write a couple of little comments, and then share it on all my social media and let people know that it's out there. I remember hearing about Gun Rights Policy Conference from before I started it, when I was just an instructor, just a nobody. I'm a bigger nobody now, but I used to listen to Ken Blanchard, who's the Reverend Ken Blanchard. He's known as the Black Man with a Gun. I used to listen to his podcast, and he would talk about going to Gun Rights Policy Conference. And I'm like, I don't know what this is, and I don't get it, and I'm not sure. But when I interviewed Mark Walters in Minneapolis, and Mark called me up a couple days afterwards, and he said, "I'd like you to speak at Gun Rights Policy Conference. Are you interested in doing this?" And I'm like, "Absolutely!" Like,
hands
I'm
down,
in,
without
I'm
a doubt.
in. And with all of the pro-gun groups that we have, the people at SAF, they're my people, right? Not that the NRA aren't my people, not that GOA is not my people or anything else, but SAF is the people that I'm tied in with.
Yep.
And I appreciate being welcomed into this group, and I appreciate them giving me opportunities to lead AmCon and to MC the Gun Rights Policy Conference.
Yeah.
I used to speak at it.
It really is an honor.
Yeah, it is, and it's great. So.
And you did a fabulous job.
Oh, thank you.
With both,
Thank you.
I'm excited to be part of it. I feel it really, truly, like when you go to these events, it's like a family reunion.
Absolutely.
You know, you're like, hey, how you doing?
Is.
And you go out, you have dinner, you enjoy each other's company, you network, you explain what's going on in the state. Oh my gosh, that's going on. Oh my gosh, this is going on. You know, and then you start coming up with different ideas to help each other, and I think that's absolutely amazing.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
AmCon is really good because AmCon is really, it started off just, we didn't know what it would be, but it started off to be, hey, here's what I do, here's how I do it, I'd like to share this with you. Here's how I get a blog going, here's how I started a YouTube channel, here's how I make videos, here's how I edit videos, here's how I do a radio show, here's the stuff that you're gonna need to start a podcast or whatnot. And it was just really taking the information that you have in any sort of media outlet and showing people how to get up and going. And since we've been doing it for a while, we now have people that are professionals that bring in all their professional viewpoints and whatnot.
Yeah, I think it's great. And I had the honor of going to the Gun Rights Policy and AmCon past 2 years and representing Goal, Gun Owners Action League, and they sent me there, and I appreciate that. But I also
Goal got an award last year.
Yes, Goal got an award. Mike got an award. We're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
But I think it's really awesome because you also get an opportunity to not only represent Goal, but me working, volunteering my time with Women for Gun Rights, Armed Women America, Sisters in Arms, the Second Amendment Institute. You get to go there and just network everything you do, and yourself as a person, as an instructor, and someone that believes wholeheartedly in the Second Amendment, our civil rights. So I think it's awesome.
It's great to get out. It's great to get out of Massachusetts, but it's great to get out of Massachusetts and find other people that are just as passionate about you are about our Second Amendment rights, and people that are writing about it and making videos and radio shows and blogging and everything else.
Awesome.
And it's great. I love it. These are my people. I love going every year.
Well, thank you for coming on. Stay tuned because we got another part of this show, and we're going to talk about the Gun Rights Policy Conference and probably a lot more. So stay tuned. Thank you for joining. If you have any questions, please reach out to sistersinarms2022@gmail.com. Thanks for joining. Thanks for coming.
To tank.
Stay safe, keep vigilant.